Hello world. Trying something new. Polarity, right? There's a pole. Both sides of the pole. It's a slider. Anything and everything can fall on it, right? Hot, cold. Easiest example. It's not really hot, it's not really cold. It's just one way or the other. But I'm trying to toe the line. So communication has always been my favorite thing in the world. I'm obsessed with communication. I genuinely believe it's a superpower. I also believe that I've fought sales so hard because you can manipulate you can basically steer them in a specific way with certain tactics. And so you go down that road and you're like, this is fucked up. So communication, as much as I love it, I've been weary of it, right? Using it in certain ways. And still, that's not even really the point of this. What I've had a hard time with mostly in my own life is oversharing. It leads me into this spot where I've always just been like, okay, I'm gonna share everything along the way, right? Someone asked me, how's my day? I'd say 2019, 2020, I started tap in and just try to be vulnerable and try to say, well, this is how I feel. And if it was shitty, it was shitty. But then, the last year, 18 months, 2 years, I've realized what you say can 100% steer you. I'm trying to say 6 words at once. It can 100% steer you in the direction that you say you are, right? So even if you're kind of had a good day, but when someone asks you, you're trying to match their energy. Something I do a lot. And then they're like, how you doing? How's your day? And I'm like, it's all right. But really, I'm sitting over here I'm dancing with the birds in the blue skies, But all of a sudden I say that and I dropped my level of energy for the rest of the day. It falls off. And then you kind of end the day and you're like, today was all right. But really, it was great until you met that person. So, communication. I kind of dropped into this real vulnerable. If I'm going through it, I overshare because I just want everyone to know because a lot of people have always looked at me and they're like, how are you so happy? You're so joyous. You're always so high energy. It's because I decided that was one of my gifts and I was going to fucking bring the energy. That's why. The life I've lived, if I wrote it out, I live a blessed life. My favorite, I don't even know who said it. I saw Alex Ramosi post it. It's someone had it worse than you and did better with it, right? There's always that. You're living a blessed life, especially in America. We have luxurious problems. But I've always overshared. I didn't want people to think, oh, well, Dylan's so happy. It's always, no. I had gone through some really shitty stuff. And I deal with these thoughts in my head every single day. I was talking to a friend yesterday where it's in the morning, you can think you're the one and you're going to conquer the world. You're the one to change the world. And then by 1 o'clock, you can, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not me. Maybe I'm going to chalk this one up as a loss. I'm going to go shovel shit. I don't know. But I guess I've always tried to show that my life is that, right? Obviously, because I've designed and planned from an earlier age that I was going to try to fulfill whatever I'm capable of fulfilling. And so, I overshared, right? And in oversharing, it felt like I was over-communicating, so I was the best at communicating, and it couldn't be further from the truth. because I would overshare, it would overshadow specific points of communication that I was missing still. But in oversharing, what I've realized is I have people that care for me, right? And when you overshare and they care, they tend to worry. And I'm not sharing a message for someone to worry. Like if I needed something from someone, I would ask. I literally have been doing door-to-door sales for 18 months. You think I'd be bashful to ask a friend who I know cares about me for anything? I wouldn't. I mean, I'd still have the human tendencies where you're like, I'm not afraid of hearing no. And if it ruins our relationship, then that person's a rascal. But it's like, I have a lot of relationships in my life right now where I haven't asked them directly for anything. And because they're worrying for me, because they care, they worry, and it's leading them into a position where I'm like straining them, draining them, and it feels like I've been asking for something. And although that is a massive you problem and not me, I still believe I can be a better communicator and not overshare. So I'm trying to polarity. I'm trying to not, most people like they get in this situation where they're like, well, people are hating and shit because they're worrying about me. I didn't even ask them to worry about me. I just kind of shared what's going on to be transparent and show that it's not all rainbows and sunshine, and these motherfuckers are mad at me. But I don't want to just be anybody. I want to be exceptional. So I'm going to try to, mess with that, how much I share, and let people into that. But people tend to run the other way, 100%, right? Like how many politicians started on the other side of the fence? This ain't about politics, but it kind of is. Because all you motherfuckers that are way too far one side, you're wrong. Yeah, you are. So that's not what that is everything in my being of what I'm trying to not do, is run the other way and just bottle up like most people do. I've talked to a lot of people lately where they have been hurt, and people don't understand them, so they overshare, and they try to get their message out. They try to be a good communicator, and now they've just been obliterated by cynical people, potentially sociopaths. You never know. Or anybody with antisocial behavior just to manipulate that. And they've run the other direction. They went from this optimistic, all-sharing communicator of joy and light, and now they're just like, they shut everyone off from even getting to know them. They just present this facade up front, right? So I don't want to be that. I'm gonna run from that. I'm gonna run like in the middle. I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, I'm gonna stop telling y'all motherfuckers everything, because you guys take it too far. I wouldn't share anything if I didn't know. I'd be perfectly fine at the end of the day. That's another little aspect of what I've been messing with in door-to-door sales. You people that have never done it, in door-to-door sales, they say the hardest door is the car door. It's the first door. Because you drive up to a neighborhood and you start to think all the negative thoughts. The fear of rejection, hearing no. Oh, what if the baby's sleeping? The dog's gonna bark. Wow, what if they have dogs? What if I get bit by a dog? What if the dude's an asshole? What if it's a Karen? Like, you think about all these things. So it's extremely hard to get out of your car. So most people in the industry, they stop doing it because that kind of gets to them. And I don't know if it ever gets easier for people. It does for me if I'm immersed in it. It's an everyday thing, every day. But then I'll go on like a 3-day travel day or like a 5-day or 7 days off, and then it's hard again. I can't get out of that car. And so I was driving up to go knock on some doors on yesterday, Monday. Saturday and Sunday, killed it. Great days. And then Monday comes around and I can't get out of that car. And I kind of realized, I was like, I backdoored this personal development, self-help stuff. I backdoored it. Like, I went towards fulfillment before stability, right? And we're humans. You look at anything appealing in this life, everybody just loves the stability in it, the structure. There's a few of us that like to fly off the wall, but I wonder if, because I'm someone where like, I'll send it. But I also have that, the panic inside of me where it's like, good God, I would love to just be secure right now. So I don't know if everyone that kind of just says yes and does has that. I would assume there's some part of it. But I chased self-fulfillment and personal development over stability and with finances and things like that. Most people chase stability and they get stuck in it because they're groomed to never jump. They're groomed to sit into that mold and become complacent. Super easy. I got married. I was the most complacent. By default, I'm pessimistic and lazy as hell. So lazy. You give me a beautiful woman that loves me dearly and some appetizers, I'm not working for shit. I'll do anything. I'll drive a truck all day, whatever. But that's why when I went through my whole situation where my wife had left, I was like, this is a rebirth. I'm supposed to do something greater. And then fall into stability and kind of a mold of a person, right? And when I talk this way, so many people get offended, and I'm just kind of over trying to dance around feelings and stuff. If you get offended, then there's something inside of you clawing to become more. That's on you. It's not on me. But I'm driving up there, and I like drive around the neighborhood. I can't get out of my car, and I just think about like even when I wasn't able to pay rent, and I paid rent 2 days ago. So motherfuckers, I genuinely feel as if I'd be happy homeless. Like I got me. I have so much joy in my day. I want to be better. But I'm gonna level with you. With a cell phone, YouTube, and some audiobooks, I can get better every single day. As long as I can work out and gain knowledge. The problem is applying that knowledge is another step of becoming better. And I don't even know if being better is putting more input. I think being better is dropping things so that you can act. I think they say that. I know they've said this. I don't know what the study is. The higher the IQ, the less likely you are to own a business or take risks because you paralysis by analysis. You're not going to step. You're not going to act. Typically, the dumber people do stuff without the thought of the repercussions. They just go. They step. But the last year, I think I've lived on the edge so much that I've realized I'm a very happy person with just me. Because I love the people in my life, but I could go downtown and meet 10 people right now that I could have a fantastic conversation with. And honestly, when you meet new people, typically they present a better version of themselves if you get them to smile a couple times. Most other people just kind of fall into however your interactions typically go, and a lot of times those are negative interactions. So a lot of interactions with people that you're closer to tend to drain your energy. Because you're complacent, and most of us are probably pretty lazy, just like I am. But I'm driving up there and I'm like, what the fuck has happened to me? I went towards this personal development, self-fulfillment shit, and I've lost that grit. And I'm not talking, see, this is the difference. I'm not talking work 80 hours a week to make $4,500 a month. That's not using efficient leverage. That's not using the value that or you, if you know how to get money in a different way, right? Like, that's a whole nother 15, 20-minute video. But I'm talking, if you have a job to do, focusing on that job and doing it for X amount of hours. And doing it. Being 100% laser focused, productive, and consistent day in and day out. And I get caught up in doing this math, especially in sales when the money is big. You do this math and you're like, well, if I get this many deals, I'm not this much money. But it's like, if you just did one deal a day for the entire first quarter of the year, it's more than 50% of the average annual income for a household in a quarter. So it's just like, I'm having to go through this like restructuring of my foundation, because it's going back to the roots. Like, fuck the floofy fulfillment stuff. I love it and there's a place for it, but I think until you're financially free, or if you want to go online and be a spiritual coach or a coach of some sort, I want to coach people, and I will eventually. But I'm not going to scam anyone out of throwing me a chunk of money, right? I'm gonna make sure we sit down and we talk about it, and if the value that you need is the value that I'm able to present, give me all your money, because I'm gonna change your life. But there's so many coaches in the industry that they wanna find a niche market. So they sing Kumbaya real good with chimes, and then they charge you $5,000 a month. And it's like, these are not shots at anyone specific. I'm just, that's the cheese. That's the cheese in the mousetrap, and a lot of people are getting caught by the cheese. And I don't want to be caught by the cheese. I'm trying to go back to those roots, the grit, the hard work. The 6 hours of working out every single day because I thought I was going to die of diabetes because I was 300 pounds. The ambition. They're going to love me for my ambition. You know? Where the fuck's that at, DHill? But I'm blabbering. Let's see if I can do this. I'm super sick. Thought maybe it'd go in the sink. I was trying to land it right here. It didn't work. But it's on the ground. We're good. But yeah, I got nothing else. I'm gonna try to, I don't know if I'm gonna post this whole thing. It's 20 minutes. If you watch this, you really love me. And you should probably write me a DM and be like, give me some kind words. Because I'm always questioning if people love me. Just because I stare in a camera and I might look decent and know how to use my tonality and facial expressions, doesn't mean I don't have fucking insecurities and problems with confidence. Especially when people that are supposed to be backing you bash you, you know? Everyone's got that. And it's not for anyone to worry about. And if you think you should worry about it, send me some love. Send me some love. But yeah. It's a good day to have a good day. I'm gonna go change the world.